Welcome to the Club. This is Somdata Sarkar and we are with Praveen Vadalkar. Today we are going to see something interesting about this word which I just mentioned, life school. But then the Club. What is it all about and what's in it for you? Everything we'll see. But let's first ask him what this is and where did the seed come from. So, Praveen, what exactly is life plus school and what this concept is about?
Thank you very much for asking that very interesting question, which is the foundation of our species, Homo sapiens. Imagine there are two boys. One has gone to school but not studied. Gone to school but never interested in studies. And another never gone to school. I remember asking someone that who will be a better person in the future. And he said the person who has gone to the school, still he has not studied, gone to the school. Why? Because we learn rules there. We learn discipline there. At least early in the morning, he's getting up, going up. At least in the class, attentive, not attentive, but he's still managing his time and space. Life is all about managing time and space, even though we don't want to do it, but we know it's important, and then we do it. That's rules. In Hindi, we say we call niyam. So, to be very precise, the answer to your question, the very important in life that we keep the life very disciplined. You should have your own rules, your own style, your own magic. Another perspective towards looking this subject is many times we feel like this that all this sine theta and cos theta, what they are teaching in school, are we really interested? We should learn, but with the help of same cos theta, sine theta, we are these buildings. We have all these buildings only because of those dimensions. Many times we say why we should learn biology. It's your body. So whatever there in the school, if you see from a right perspective, you can apply that in your life sometime. Third perspective, then I will come to the Life School Club. The third perspective, one of the key reasons why we learn in the school, we want to learn how to learn. You're getting a point. That's a skill. We are the only animal on the planet Earth because of that cognitive revolution 50,000 years ago, which is just 50,000 years ago. We have the ability to learn, but how to learn? And learning is repetition and practice. But if you really want to thrive in life, if you want to grow in life, then you just stay focused during the school and education. But if you keep this all perspective in mind, if you really want to thrive in life, you have to keep learning. You have to stay disciplined throughout the life. You have to ensure that whether I'm interested or not interested, I have to do it. It takes what it takes. Especially in sports, it's a very common phrase by the coach. It takes what it takes. You have to do it. And if you are not staying student in the school of life, then the whole art and the magic which you have learned in the school, you are just misusing it or underutilizing it. So the only reason why we go to school, so we can stay student in the school of life, throughout the life. In the school, they give us the subjects. We have no control. In this school, we pick the subjects. We have all the controls. So find out what you want to learn in your life. Find out who is the teacher for that. And the easiest way to find out who is the teacher, the person who has done what you want to learn. If you want to learn 42 kilometers, find out the person who has done it, not the person who is interested in it. You're getting a point. So to be very precise, life school, I think everyone should be the part of life school if you believe in this, that you have to stay student in life to thrive.
And when you narrated this incident, when was the seed first sown? And when you came out, I want to create something like this.
The first time I conceived this idea when I learned one skill, and that was communication, till one level. A world is full of average people. It's like if you take class, or maybe a 9th standard or 8th standard class, and take math subject, 4 to 5% people are getting 90, 90, 95, 90 plus. 4 to 5% people are getting less than 10 marks. Getting 10, less than 10 is also difficult. Right? They're also difficult. Maximum are average. for 50, 60, 70. The world is full of average people. Moment you invest time, energy, money, resources on one skill, you become better than average. And because maximum people are average and you slightly become better than average, it's your responsibility to share with them. You're always middle here. When you look up, you will always find someone who is better than you, and then you learn from that person. And you look down, you will always find someone who is looking towards you and they want to learn from you. So you're always a teacher and student, always in that duality.
This is really interesting. And when you mention about this comparison between what we learned in terms of mathematics or biology or any other subject, this also brings me to the point that there are a lot of aspects to the academic education which people can actually benefit from. Whereas there is a lot of chunk of that academic education which people actually, when I say people, again, we are talking about the generalized population, the maximum majority part of it. So they do not typically get a place to apply all these. So would you consider life school as something different from the academic education, and what is it about?
Absolutely. That's a nice question. To really explore this life and explode your potential, you need to understand first in the school of life, you have to take care of your body. Your body is your temple. So in the life school, we have a sports section. It's a sports club. One, sports. So as we were discussing, there are lots of sports we have in India. We have lots of indigenous sports also we have in India. But doesn't matter which sport, the sport starts with muscle strengthening. No matter, even if you are playing chess, sitting there for 3 hours, 4 hours, sometimes whole day, is muscles. So we first focus on muscle strengthening, dynamic muscle strengthening, sports, stretching. All the animals who have the spine, they stretch, including dogs, cats. You know that. We are the only animal on the planet Earth who is not stretching, especially because of the invention of this chair and because of the lifestyle. We are just very stiff. So making first people aware about the body, that body needs some kind of dynamic stretching and just not this kind of stretching. Good stretching where you actually feel, you visualize your muscle, stretch your muscle. Then one very important thing which is required to thrive in life is focus. What is sports? Focus. Can you teach me one sports which doesn't teach you focus? Sports is focus. Another thing which is required in life is attitude. What is that? Sports? What is attitude? Attitude is not winning. Attitude is accepting failure, learning from it, and trying again. That's attitude. Sports teaches you how to lose, how to take all those losses gracefully, learn from it, and grow. So very important. Like Sachin Tendulkar says that sports is not there to watch. Sports is there to play. So very important. First, body with the help of sports. Another thing which is required to really explore and explode your life is your whole understanding of your breath. Understand that's prana. That's prana. It's like ideally one should able to breathe in at least for 10 seconds without any interruption. But when you check sometimes, because of the pollution, because of the lifestyle, there are so many people that are hardly able to sustain that inhale for 3 seconds, 4 seconds. It's very rare. It's very rare when it comes to Homo sapiens. It's like ideally it should not be. The score should be 7 to 8, at least till 7 to 8 seconds. We should be able to breathe in continuous air. 80% of our lungs is full of stale air. We are underutilizing our lungs. If you're underutilizing your lungs, you have underutilization or maybe the less oxygen which is there in blood. Your immune system is compromised unless and until you are not stretching your lungs. You are not working on your lungs, not working on your breath. There's nothing called mind, body, soul, all those hypes and drama. No, it's your lungs. It's not heart. It's your lungs which is causing the problem. Most of the times, all this breathing and pranayama, all these people consider or look towards is like spirituality. There's no spirituality there. It's a proper exercise. So meditation is proper exercise. So people have to understand an outer body and inner body. Unless and until you are not taking care of all that, it's very difficult to explore and explode in life. So another aspect of life school, when the people join life school, this club, I really want to give them the sports club, the atmosphere online where I have the best coaches from the planet Earth, especially from this India who are really doing good, national or international coaches, those who have really transformed the lives of lots of people in their respective area with the help of technology. I want to give access to these coaches, their skills, their stories, to maximum number of people. And I'm able to do this only because we have technology today. This was not possible maybe just a few years ago. It's possible today. Imagine Buddha had Zoom. His words and learning could have reached more number of people. So it's our responsibility to use technology.
So, one aspect you mentioned, one is definitely you're bringing sports on
One.
this aspect. The
Another.
other aspects.
The other aspect is if you see the evolution, there was a study and there was a film on this study which is called The First Man, which was broadcasted on even Discovery a few years ago. So a group of lots of biological or those people who are very expert in biological evolution, right? Studying that what is the impact of all whatever we have done, Homo sapiens or Homo erectus we have done since so many years. What are those three decisive steps we have taken in the history, maybe 20, 25 millions, or what is that few decisive step taken by ancestor because of which we are who we are today. The first one is, of course, we started walking. We left the tree. The second one is we learn how to control fire and cook food. But as per the expert, the most important thing which we learn is speaking, communication. Now, if you critically observe India, as you know, we are very unique. We have so many languages, but we are not allowed to speak in our own language. We are speaking in foreign language, which is the truth. We cannot say it's wrong. No, it is, it is. This is how it is. This is how it is. So, language. Now, in language, one is English. So I personally very interested in helping people to understand that how to speak English fearlessly and fluently. It's not about starting English speaking classes, but first developing the correct mindset toward this language. At the same time, then I will also help people to understand that how they can learn language, apply those language communication skills in their personal and professional lives. Example, in personal life, how they can strengthen their relationship, romantic relationship with kids, with strangers, with neighbors. So many times we meet our neighbors and we don't say hi. That should not be the culture of any country. Go to other country. They spread smiles. And even sometimes we are doing very good at work, but the moment you stand in the conference room in front of people, you get blank. That's not correct. You are underutilizing the whole potential of humanity or human beings. So the other area after sports is communication, which really differentiate us from other animals. One more thing which I would like to offer to the Life School Club members, which is I used to crave for it during my 1,000 days of sabbatical. I remember when I was for 5 days alone in the mountains. Everything was there. Like food was there, air was there, peace was there. And I was just waiting that what will be that one craving which will bring me down again. And I leave that place. And that craving was people. People were inviting me down. Even they were not inviting me and there's no phone, nothing, but they were the craving for people. All have craving for people. So there's something called jamming. There's something called jamming in Himachal, where friends met during the travel. They sit together and they jam. What do you mean by that? If you know story, you tell the story. You know the song, you sing the song. You know guitar, play guitar. So I love to give sessions of jamming within my capacity, where people feel that okay, I'm lost in my life. Can I go somewhere where there is good energy? Can I be a part of that energy? Can I just leave all my hustles of life, whatever problems I have in my life aside, and can I just change my time and space and be with good people, good energy, and then go back to your fight? So it's very important to give access to people. You should not feel alone. So when you are a part of this club, you know there are people who are like-minded. And there is someone who can listen to me without judging me. Can someone listen to me like a mountain listens, like a river listens, without asking any question, just validating that I'm listening to you? Yes. So, lot can be done in life school, but to be very precise, I answer to this question. First, your body. For that, we have sports, internal, external, both. Then, how do I communicate? So, all communication related aspects. Third, your own human behavior. You should feel that if you are a part of Speak and if you are a part of the Life School Club, then you should feel that, yes, I have the family.
So, in that aspect, we have three different pillars. Okay. So, in these, when somebody join, can somebody be a part of all the three aspects, or is it something that they need to go one after the another? How would they benefit from the entire life school?
It varies from person to person. So what I've learned is when you want to learn something, at that point of time, it all depends that where you are in your life. Something is important for me to learn, but at this point of time, I'm not in the position to learn that. Maybe the priorities are different. It's different. So it all depends. Maybe someone is suffering or not growing in their life or thriving in their life because of the communication. So maybe communication. Maybe someone stretching or someone, I just want to have good time. It
That's
all
interesting.
depends. And because we also believe in this, that it has to be a hybrid model, the blend of online and offline. So all these people, all the members, family members of the Life School will also get access to all possible experiential events which we are doing in Sayadri Ghats and the mountains and the Himalayas. I don't want to invite people. I did that and I didn't. I find it the scope of improvement there that when the 40, 50 people are meeting in the mountains, it's great if they already know each other. Then the energy is different. Energy is one. So imagine these members meeting in the mountains and we are not only learning, we are also enjoying internal peace and external peace. We're also enjoying the amazing sceneries of the mountains and the seas and the rivers. So it's like a family on the trip.
That's really interesting. Now, you were talking about the hybrid model as well, plus the sports. So, this brings me to the question, and I'm curious where when you are going to teach them or show them about being involved in sports activities, are you referring to somebody or coach will come and teach them some specific sports, or is it something that anybody and everybody can do? Or is it for a certain group of people who are interested in sports or those kind of activities?
You're talking from the audience point of view?
Yes, the people who are going to join.
For everyone. Stretching is for everyone. For example, take boxing. There is something called white collar boxing, where people who are working in corporate or professionals, they learn boxing because boxing teaches you what? Boxing teaches you focus, attitude. Don't you need focus and attitude in your life? Boxing gives you self-defense. That gives you confidence. That changes your body posture. It's for everyone. Then there's nothing in the life school which you say I want to skip this. Maybe you are not ready for it now, or maybe that skill is not ready or right time. But it is important. It's important for me. It's important for you. It's important for everyone sitting here. Yeah, but you have to prioritize life.
That's great. So you also mentioned how did this start, okay? But I would like to know, because you have been in communication previously, you had a community of Speak and Grow, and you have been TEDx speaker as well. So have you ever thought, or was this concept of life school somewhere previously in your mind, somewhere before going to the Himalayas, or how was it?
See, Speak and Grow and Life School fundamentally it is maybe 30 to 40% same. Speak and Grow, we used to communicate. We used to focus only on communication, where we have more than 15,000 members, and they will get access to Life School absolutely free because they're already the members. So we will transfer all those members on the Life School. But I would say it's the new version of Speak and Grow. Only thing this time we are more holistic, and this time I am putting my all the experience and the learnings and the gains and the losses what I have acquired in last 1,000 days of sabbatical. So to very precise answer to your question, I think it's 2018 only I conceived the idea of building the community. This is a better community with the help of, because, and this is here we are doing it in association with NAS. So better platform, better experience, and better offerings.
That's really, really interesting. I'm sure Everybody would be more curious to know about it. And coming to this aspect, because of your such rich experience that you have gathered till now, and plus you are doing it every day, have you planned of writing any book or penning down your experiences?
I'm not a very big fan of book. I believe that books were very uh, relatable, or I would say they make sense maybe when videos were not there or audios were not there. Now, when we are moving forward, I think people want to consume content on audio or video. It's very easy nowadays to write a book. Even this podcast or this video, we can give it to the professionals and I will get the book. But the only problem with the book is how do you validate that the person who's reading the book, when reading one line, uh, he or she is syncing with the author? How do I validate that? More and more you go in deep in communication, you know that every word, every line has different perspectives. But when you listen to someone or when you watch someone, because of this tone or because of the energy in the whole word, because when you read, it's your energy. When the author is speaking or author is reading or making an audio book, it's his or her energy. So I'm not a very big fan of writing books. However, if I have to write, then I will write a book which should be coated with plastic, because if there's an apocalypse and the world gone, and after millions of years ago, after millions of years, if someone is digging the earth and find the book, fortunately plastic is non-biodegradable, so they should able to read what kind of world it was before maybe 2 million years ago. If,
I'm
in
sure
case if I write, I will write.
nobody has thought on that aspect
You have to
ever. And
you have to think long term, right?
how long would the people or the beings who would be there, like
This
human
question, how
beings?
long, is fundamentally incorrect. This whole concept of stopping the time is created by human being. Time is linear. It's like we just moving forward. It's been there for millions of years. So there's no question how long.
But I'm sure nobody has thought about plastic books.
I do have any other option.
Okay, so there might be, at least you never know, when somebody is digging the earth, if everything collapses, everything vanishes, then there would be nobody to read, first of all. Then plastic book will not make
The
any sense.
life will come back.
Okay, that's a completely different discussion. We will
Yeah,
see
life will
that.
come back, and the earth is good because
All right.
when we disappear, humans disappear, other animals will be there, the trees will be there.
Yeah. So, coming to this aspect where you are talking about the experiences, the events, what sort of events are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a good question. I remember I was sitting in one very good cafe in Dharamshala, and then one girl came there, and she works in Hayat there. And I said, I have a question. And she said, what? I said, tell me why people charge in 5-star or 7-star so much for this simple cup of tea, maybe 1,000, 2,000, sometimes more than that. And she said, it's a one word answer. I said, what? She said, experience. Experience, that's it. Lots of people, when they go to mountains, because of lack of guidance, support, resources, they are not able to extract maximum benefits from the time which they are investing, from the energy they are investing on the mountains. So first, we want to explore mountains. As I told you, mountain is a very pure energy. We want to convert mountains in the classes. We want to use that outside silence. We want to help people to bring the inner silence. So we want to do events like healing in Himalayas or healing in mountains, where you just close your eyes and you try to identify which are those emotional wounds which I have to heal, which I am not able to observe because of the busy lifestyle I have in my city. We want to do chilling retreats, where you just chill. What do you mean by chilling? I remember asking one Israeli, what do you mean by chilling? What do you mean by chilling? He said, whenever I'm asking him, what do you do? I'm chilling. And then I said, what do you mean by that? I was sitting with him almost for 2.5 hours. I was just talking. And I was sitting with him and I asked this question almost after 2 hours. And he said, chilling is what we are doing right now, Praveen. We're just sitting. No one is waiting for us. There's no curiosity. We are here in the present now. And to bring people in the now, it's very important you have to detach yourself. In few of our retreats, you are not allowed to take your mobiles. So you have to detach all your possessions, whether you have the physical possession or psychological possessions, you have to detach those possessions. You have to find that inner peace. But inner peace is possible only when there's outer peace. When you are in the city, there's accumulated now noise of so many things, not just people talking, the ACs and the vehicles and the construction going on. So it's very important to have outer peace, which is important, which is possible only in the mountain. So we want to do lots of events in the mountain, and we are in the search of finding some good coaches so they can learn several skills. The only thing what we are doing is we are changing the classroom. The classroom of the life school is in the mountain.
So that means when you say experiences in the mountains, etc., is it open for all, including the kids, or is there any age group as well?
Absolutely open for kids also. I love to take a batch of a kid where they understand entrepreneurship. We go to mountains, go to Himalayas. While coming back, we go to one IIT. We understand the education. It's just like ensuring that their every moment is full of experience, full of learning. They just lose the sense of time. If you are really living life, you will lose the sense of time because you are in the space. You are in the moment. Time is illusion. Time is man-made. You're in the moment. So I really want people, if they come for 5 days, 7 days, I want them, which day is today? What time it is? When you are in that state, it means you are completely lost by choice in the moment, which is possible only if we are breaking the monotony. If it is monotonous, we have track of time. But if it is non-monotonous, if it is interesting, just like sometimes when you watch a movie, very nice movie, we just lose the sense of time. So I want people to lose the whole sense of time. But in that, I want them to focus on skills, on their body, on their soul. Learn something. It could be sports, it could be communication, it could be some other skill, but learn something. So which is possible. We can really fast track the whole learning process because of this silence which is available inside and outside only in mountains. We can fast track the process.
I'm curious, you were talking about learning, learning, learning. So, what has been your biggest learning, or what are the new things? Let me put it in this way. What are some of the new things you have started learning in the last 6 months?
In last 6 months, if I have to be very precise, one, I have started learning breathing exercises. All those Kapal Bhati, Bhastrika, all those things were very alien to me. I was a big student of meditation, but I never used to breathe. I never used to exercise my lungs. So I did a course from Mr. Venkat. He's a very nice expert in breathing, I think almost 18 to 19 years. And he's also training and teaching lots of people in breathing. So I was a student of him, so I learned that. I remember every day, 30 days, early 6 a.m. in the morning, never skipped even a single class. One is that. Another is I started learning Basuri. And
You mean the real flute?
the real flute.
Basuri. Okay, that's
because I'm
interesting.
so happy that I saw his ad on YouTube, and then he's doing the webinar.
Who
And
is it?
This guy, I can't remember his name. I
Okay.
can't remember his name. So I started learning, and I'm still in the process. Just started it, but yeah, to be very precise, last 6 months. One for breath, and I think one Basuri is for music.
Coming to this aspect of the show, let's play some rapid fire round questions.
Sure.
Sure? Are you up for that?
Yeah, I'm
okay,
absolutely.
no waiting, just whatever comes to your mind at first.
So we say it's called running commentary of thoughts.
All right, whatever you
So there are
like
two
to
running
call it.
commentaries. When we sit with friends, there are two running commentaries. Either you can do a running commentary of thoughts or running commentary what is happening here.
Okay,
Yeah, so running commentary of thoughts.
your
yeah.
thoughts. Okay, fine. Whatever comes to your mind first, okay? All right, to begin with. In one word, tell me, what is life?
Life is now. This. Now.
Life is now.
Yeah, this
Wow.
is life. This is this.
That's beautiful.
life.
All right, the next one is, do you have any regrets in
No,
life?
no.
No.
No regrets.
Okay. Whom do you love the most after your mother or father?
Dolly.
Dolly, your
Ex-wife.
ex-wife. All right. Plus your friend as well.
The most after mother and father.
Yeah, she's your friend as well.
Of course, she's my
Yes,
friend, yeah.
Of course. The biggest mistake you did in your life till date?
I ran from her home when I was in 9th standard.
You call it as a mistake? Why?
That incurred a huge amount of pain on my mother. Remember, imagine a mother, no phone, nothing, boy's out for 3 days, no idea where he is. Nothing bigger than this. Huge pain.
Makes sense. All right. What is the one thing which you want to change in India to foster its growth?
Sex culture.
Sex culture.
Sex culture of India.
All right. In terms of education, awareness.
You can change the culture only by education, only by awareness. Awareness is the first step in the change.
Do you smoke?
Yes.
Okay. Do you eat non-veg?
Yes.
Any particular ideology or anything, or why?
For protein and taste.
Okay, so now there might be many other questions, but since there's a rapid fire round, I'll stick to that, but I'll come to that later
Sure.
on. Okay. Do you like politics?
Yes.
If yes, why?
Because if you really want to do something big in your life, you have to work along with the government, not against the government. Money lies there, strength lies there, power lies there.
That's interesting. That's a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So, yes. Are you happy now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And what makes you happy from within?
Now.
Being in now?
Yeah, this present moment is full of good energy. I'm happy now.
Right. That's interesting. Great. So, those were the questions in the rapid fire round.
I-
But I
I-
have
I'll
one final question.
okay.
Okay. If not this, an entrepreneur or an adventurer or the person who is right now, what would Praveen Vadalkar be?
No idea. No idea. It's very difficult to answer because you are the output of your history, you are the output of your culture. So if the history and culture remains the same, I am who I am. And I'm happy, so I don't want to change.
So now coming to this, the rapid fire round is over. You did well. So coming to this question, which was related to do you eat non-veg, and you mentioned because of protein and taste. Of course, it's a personal thing, but do you also think protein can also come from plants? So I'm not an expert in this, but given the kind of, the discussions that is going on in the market, I would like to understand your take on it.
Yeah, the fact is, protein comes from the plant. The natural source of protein is the plant. What chicken is eating, the hen or the chicken, or even what other animals are eating, the plant only. Correct? So protein is from the plant. I'm not denying that. So I remember when someone sharing this with me, there was one very old Punjabi lady, maybe in the 80s, and she went to a doctor, and her child, not the child, the big boy was sitting here, son was sitting here, doctor was sitting here, and the doctor said that now you should stop non-veg, right? Based upon all the data and all the tests doctor has done. And the old lady looked towards the doctor and she said, कि बंद तो कर दो लेकिन क्या करूँ स्वाद बड़ा आता है. So you have to understand the relationship with food. When I was maybe in 7th or 8th standard and my dad was outside and me and my mother, we used to go to one her friend's house only because she used to cook chicken. So my memory with my relationship with non-veg is like craving. It's like, I want it. I like it. However, coming to this point that protein, of course, it comes from there. But if you follow a proper diet given by a professional, and if my coach said that, Praveen, you should eat chicken, so I will not challenge that. Why? Because it's like what? It's like matter of few thousand years ago, we were eating it. Evolution started so many years ago. We are eating it. So I don't see any big, fundamentally big issue where we eat non-veg, right? Even though we have options, we have choices. And sometimes I used to feel that we have choices, still we are killing. But that's how it is. That's how it is. That's how the world runs. So I'm not a very big follower or believer of vegan or a believer of you should eat or you should not eat, that kind of discussion.
It's about personal choices.
It's
of
personal
people.
choice and body.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, you spoke about your childhood 2 times back. So, what is it? Because in the conversation, you have been touching your childhood quite some time. So, what is it that you would like to share about your childhood? The things that you have learned, the things that you feel that you can go back and change. One thing you have already mentioned, you should not have run from the home.
I didn't say that.
You regret that.
Yes.
Yes, you regret
Yes.
that. Okay. So, what is it that you would like to share with respect to your childhood?
Childhood is actually shaping your consciousness. What is childhood? Is 70 to 18 years. Right? 70 to 18 years is those memories and the stories which we acquire in those 70 to 18 years. At subconscious level, we, even at the age of 40, we actually using those memories and the content of that childhood only when we react or when we respond. Let me give an example. Say example, take the abusive words. Maybe one abusive word, and you have no relationship with that word, but maybe one child has a very bad relationship. He is being lots of times from his friends or maybe from his family. He has heard that abusive word, or maybe someone in the family is teasing that child with the help of that abusive word. So that child will develop a very strong relationship with that abusive word. Sometimes it could be a surname also. For example, there's one surname which people make fun out of it. So throughout the life, actually, your surname has become the trigger for you, which you have taken or acquired in childhood. So unless and until you don't go deep in your childhood, you have no clue about your adulthood. You have no idea how you behave and why you behave. That's the reason it's very important to close your eyes and go deep. Find out that first moment in your life where you actually got the consciousness. Actually, okay, this is her, this is the world. So sometimes when I ask people, just take your time, but tell me that what is that one first incident you remember from your life? What is that first incident? And then we start the story from there very slowly, very slowly, very slowly, and suddenly they feel that lots of stories are beautiful, which we remember, and they are on the surface because we have habit of sharing those beautiful stories with the world. But good things and beautiful stories are very few, and most of the times we don't learn from those beautiful stories. What we learn is from the bad part of the childhood, the pain in the childhood, the abuse in the childhood, the physical abuse, the verbal abuse. All those are so under the blanket, and these are wounds, and people do not share those. I remember I was speaking somewhere, and the one girl came. It was open mic, and one girl came on the stage, and she said, I'm 20, 21 years old, and she was looking beautiful, wearing black color sari, open hairs, and standing, and I was just about to listen. And she said something which really opened my eyes. And she said something, if I have to recollect her word verbatim, she said that this is the first time I'm coming here, and I wanted to share something which I've never shared in my life. And only my boyfriend sitting there, he asked me to share. And that's the reason I'm standing here. Plus minus, not verbatim, but plus minus in a better word. She said this, and I was listening. And she said that I never allow my boyfriend to touch me. And we all raised the eyebrows what she is talking, because she said when I was 8 years old, someone touched me, I didn't like it, but I didn't share. 11 years old, someone touched me, I didn't like it, I didn't share. 13 years old, someone touched me, I didn't like it, but I didn't share. And because I didn't share, that has become mountain on my head. And it's like if someone is touching you, it's like trigger. You don't. That person is not touching you. You get triggered from your childhood. You understand that, right? And and the boyfriend inspired her to go and speak. And she said, now the first time I am not carrying that mountain. Rather, I am sitting on that mountain and sharing that. Okay, this happened with me. I didn't share, but if it happens with you, share. I can't change the history, but at least I can tell you sitting on the mountain what I learned from that history. So it's very important to learn your childhood. It's not about what we learn in this life. Of course, important, not denying that. What the best thing which you can learn in your life is acquire new skills, which is time, repetition. You don't learn skills overnight, but you already have a very powerful machine. Most of your mind is your evolutionary memory. Is evolutionary memory. Your mind is very powerful. It's the output of millions of years old. Only the prefrontal cortex is hardly 50,000 years old, but this is very well developed organ. So it's very important that yes, we all are same, but what shapes our consciousness is our childhood. And if you don't have access, if you don't have access to your childhood, if you don't have access to those wounds, those memories, those learnings, those wisdom, and if you are not sharing with the world, you are keeping too much inside. It doesn't make any sense. It's a locker which you have locked it and you say that I'm not going to open it all my life. It's full of diamonds. You have to open it. It's a Pandora's box.
That's really interesting. You mentioned about that aspect of that one moment, right, where you ask people to actually
Yeah.
go back and remember.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what is that
The,
one?
the first moment?
Yes.
My first moment was like, we used to sleep in the field. It's like in an agriculture field. It was in Nasik. And so this is the moment. It's like I'm sleeping outside because air was there, and because my dad was in the army, so there was that mosquito net, army mosquito net, and I was sleeping this side. My mama was here, my brother was here, and I fell down in that mosquito net, and that has become the swing, and then I opened the eyes, and so I slept there. That's it. That's the first moment.
Wow. And you still remember
I
that so
remember it.
vividly.
It's like 3 years, 4 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
because I asked my
interesting.
mom, like, what was my age when I was there? It's like 3, 4 years, or less than that, in fact.
All right. So now, of course, there are many moments like this, but is there something like that first moment when your first journey to the Himalayas happened?
First journey to the
First
Himalayas.
ever journey to the Himalayas.
First ever journey to the Himalayas was to Kasol, and I was doing good in entrepreneurship.
Kasol, not Kasoli. Kasol.
Kasoli and
Yeah.
Kasol is same.
There is a Kasoli and there is a
Same,
Kasol.
same.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
same.
there's
Yeah, same. So I was doing good in entrepreneurship. I've always said that there are two reasons why people move to the mountains. Sometimes good or bad, but I was doing extremely good, and I wanted to explore solo traveling. So I went to Gokarna first before that, but Dolly suggested me that you should go to mountains because the event or the MBA which she was doing, there was an event in that MBA leadership program where they took to mountains, and she suggested me that Praveen, you should go. So I went to Kasol. I just loved Kasol. I love mountains. I love being solo, not living solo, but feeling solo. Is very important. Not feeling solo, but living solo. Yeah, the reverse one. There's a difference between that. Yeah, so I was living solo, but I'm still exploring mountains. Mountains are big. It's like very difficult to explore. I have hardly explored maybe 0.001% of it yet to become a mountaineer who can say that yes, I have significant experience in mountains.
That's great to know, by the way. And talking about this mountaineering part, let's say people who are out there who want to experience the mountaineering. First of all, there is no available as such simple awareness. Like, there is too much of information here and there, but as a beginner who have no idea about what to do, what is the first step to be taken, what is it that you would share some steps that if a person wants to go to the mountain for trekking, for hiking, or for mountaineering purposes, how the person should approach it and go about it?
First, start walking or start running. Stretch your body. I see so many times people, they are very dormant life here, and they suddenly come, and then they have a bad experience in mountain. They are not able to walk, or they have cramps, or they give up, and then they develop the bad memories with mountains, and they don't come back. At the same time, they share those bad memories with others. Number one. So first, make your body fit. If you are 40 kg, 50 kg overweight, it's just like I carrying a 40 kg bag in my hand and going up. There is no difference. Weight is weight, physics is physics. So first, work on your body. Based upon your physical strength and experience, choose the right altitude and trek. Third, make sure that when you are going there, go with the right people, right guidance, because you have limited time in mountains. You are not on sabbatical where, because most of the time we have to come back. Because we have limited time, it has to be explored and experienced very carefully, very strategically. You should have access to correct people and resources there. You have to develop the correct mindset. Unfortunately, most of the critical mindsets in our country, in India especially, is developed or influenced by Bollywood. The reason we are scared of police because of the Bollywood movies. Critically observe it. Reason why most of the people are not interested, or I would say ignoring Himalayas, is because in many Bollywood movies they have shown that if someone who has lost interest in life, or someone who wants to take sannyas, or someone who want to become hippie, or it's called charvahak in Hindi, those kind of people should go to Himalayas. And when I go there, when I've spent so much of time there, I see the world is visiting Himalayas, but not Indians. I see people from New Zealand, Australia, Israel, Russia. There is a place called Dharamkot, which is mini Israel. Kasol is mini Israel. And you know why Israeli people travel, right? It's a part of their culture. It's a law there. After 1 year of rigorous army training, it is important for them to travel. That's the culture. That kind of culture we need in the country. Being in you are in India and you are still not leveraging the resources of India. Himalaya is ours, is in India. But because of the culture, or because we are so busy in our priorities. Sometimes people say, no, Praveen, it's India and people are underprivileged and people are poor and people are busy in earning bread. But come on, there are so many people, they have enough money in their bank and enough time so they can go to mountains, they can go to Himalayas, but they don't because of the culture, because they think that it's risky or it's difficult and why should I, or maybe lethargy, I don't know what. But it's the energy there. I've seen people changing completely in the mountains. I've seen magic in the mountains. Mountains are magical. It has to be a part of your lifestyle.
Wow, this is beautiful. So you mentioned right kind of guidance, coaching, and the right kind of people. Is there any particular or set of institutes or agencies or centers where people can actually reach out to, which you can share for them to get the help?
See, if you really want to learn a technical aspect of mountain, and if you're below 40, you should complete Himalayan Mountaineering Institute course.
Himalayan Mountaineering
Institute
Institute
course,
Okay.
HMI. It's a course of 30 days where you spend around 10 days in Darjeeling, where you learn rock climbing, you learn knots, then you go to Chaurikang. Chaurikang is like 17,000 feet, and there is a Ratong glacier there where you learn how to climb glacier walls. Because if you really want to climb mountains, you have to learn technical things. You have to learn how to use ropes, how to rappel, how to come down. So if you are interested in that, that's the 30 days course which can challenge your physical, mental capacity. And it's a very subsidized course by Indian Army and Indian government. Because when the first time someone climbed the mountain, first time, when he came back, Mr. Nehru was the prime minister in those days. Just to encourage and promote mountaineering in India, he started that institute. That for the first time, Indian has climbed the mountain. So on that occasion, he started that institute. Like that, we have several institutes in India. So if you can just Google Mountaineering Institute in India. The best is, of course, the first one in Darjeeling. You can learn mountaineering.
Wow, this is really interesting. Like, we have so many things in the country itself that people can actually leverage out. That is great. So, now coming to the aspect as to what has been your biggest learning as a mountaineer?
You can carry as much as weight on your body if you are climbing the mountain, but you can't carry weight in your mind when you're climbing the mountain. It's tiring. If you are thinking and walking, you will get tired. Your mind has to be thoughtless. And the only way to become thoughtless is stay busy in watching. Either you can watch the world which is outside, which is the reality, the stone, the air, the water. Watch it. Don't watch the mango tree with the knowledge that this is mango, this is a leaf, and this is that. Watch the tree. So either watch it or you keep thinking, keep thinking, keep thinking, and when you think, then it becomes, it's mass. Thought is a mass. If I take one small metal from here and you ask this, is this a metal? You will say, yeah, this is a metal. If the source is a metal, then this is also a metal. The source of the thought is memory. Memory stays in cell. Cell is the matter. So when you think again and again, again and again, again and again, it becomes heavy. It becomes weight. So you can carry a lot of weight on your body, but you can't carry weight here if you if you're climbing real mountains.
Wow, that is one of the most profound thing I've heard in terms of the mountaineering experience. And what has been your biggest learning as an entrepreneur?
As an entrepreneur, the most important thing which I have learned, or most few things which I have learned in entrepreneurship, number one, if you are doing business, it has to be scalable. It has to be scalable. Why? You start something with a lot of love, and if it is not growing, it means you did it only for money. Because if you have a baby, if you have a good product, then it should reach all the potential target customers. That's the passion and the love for the product. I want that life school, all the people on the planet Earth should become the member of Life School Club because it has that potential. I want people to learn. We together can learn. So first, scalability. No scalability, no business. Number one. Number two, team. Solopreneur, I don't understand. I don't understand that word solopreneur because you can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. If you really want to do something big, you have to have people who are with you, singing with you. I have a very good friend called Nitesh, and he's never learned English, but his Pandit is like very nice, very clever, very wise. Sometime just during the conversation, I said, "Life is now, life is now, life is now," and we were together with a few friends. And later on, he said, "Praveen, I've understood." He said, "What? Life is now." I said, "Which now?" Hindi wala now. I said, "Yeah, Hindi wala now." So entrepreneurship is that Hindi wala now. What do you mean by that? If you take a very small boat, imagine a team of maybe 80, 90 people in one company. So when you join one company, 80, 90 people, imagine those 80, 90 people and the captain of the company, the owner, the CEO of the company is the captain, is in the same ship. It doesn't matter. So what doesn't matter is that if you are suffering, doesn't matter because even captain is suffering. Right? If there are lots of waves, ups and downs, doesn't matter, even captain is doing that. If you're not getting your salaries, doesn't matter, even captain has a problem. So when you entrepreneurship is that it's very important for you to understand you have to build a team who won't leave you when there is a hole in the ship or when the ship is shaking. On the other hand, also, if they are leaving, resigning, you should not feel bad about it because somehow you also did that in your life. It's like I remember I was in Siplar and Baxi, Mylan, then I started. When I resigned, I didn't feel bad about it. So when I was in Takaiser and people used to leave, maybe after 4 years or 5 years for, "Hi, yeah, good, congratulations, move." And this which I have learned from Mr. Hamid. Why should I feel bad about it? I don't remember Mr. Hamid even invested a single minute to retain someone. He said, "You have all the liberty of fly, go ahead, learn something new." So when you have that relationship with your people that you genuinely want that person, you're happy that you have got a better opportunity, it's good entrepreneurship.
Oh, that's
And the
that's really
last
great.
thing, especially for first generation entrepreneurs, understand when you start the business, the most important thing is, do you have money to run the operations? Money in hand, not money which is going to come. No, do you have those money? Because even if you have 10 people and if they are taking 3 teas in a day, that is 9 rupees. That is money. That will be a few hundreds and thousands when you calculate your yearly investment on just tea. So first generation entrepreneurs, they are so obsessed with their own idea. They are so passionate about their own business. They sometimes they skip the simple thing that, hey, you need money to run this. Make sure that you have money.
So, in this aspect, what is your perspective about the difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur?
These are two different words, but it all depends upon that who is the business owner, what is the character of that person, and who is that entrepreneur. But for me, it's like when you sell a product, you need an organization. Doesn't matter. For example, Outplay Foundation is an NGO, and I am the director in that NGO. And they were saying that it's not an organization, it's an NGO. I said, it doesn't matter. It's NGO or what, but you need an organization. You need people. You need people.
So, coming back to the question, in your perspective, what is the difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur?
These are just words. What I believe that if you have conceived an idea which is solving one problem, and you think that you alone can solve that problem, then that problem is very small. You're solving the problem. It doesn't matter whether you use the word businessman or entrepreneur or founder or co-founder. These are just words. If the problem is very big, then you need people, right? But moment there are people, there is chaos. So you need organization. The right person at the right time doing the right thing. And all these people should be inspired and motivated regularly, because we lose motivation. We have a lot of distraction. So it doesn't matter what word you use, that it's a responsibility of that individual to keep the team motivated, not intact. The role of the leader is not to bring people together. The role of the leader is to split the people and send them to do what they supposed to do. Just like a football team. If you see the captain in football, and if you take maybe a 50 top football team, and if you critically analyze that which is the position in football which is the highest position of captain, is it a goalkeeper or it's a back or midfield or other, it's midfielder. So the leader has to be in the middle, not in the front. In the middle, so you can watch everyone and ensure that everyone is at the right place. Imagine that person is along with everyone together. No. The role of the leader is split, divide. The leader has to be Shiva, destruction, destroy, go. And then, of course, even if you are individually working in organization, but because it is an organization, it's moving towards the same vision. The whole team has the same goal, the goal. So leadership, because we need leadership to build business, that is more important. Which word we assign to that leader, whether we use entrepreneur or co-founder or a director or solopreneur, or we may invent new words in the future, that doesn't matter.
Okay, that's a great perspective. So, a quick question in that. If you see in the market in India, typically, country wise, of course, it varies. But in India, right now, post COVID or during the COVID itself, maybe this entrepreneurial thing in the market wise, of course, India has amazing business people and amazing businesses throughout history. And but if you see right now, there is a segment of people who does business in a way where, profit comes in and there is money, there is cash flow, there is things like that. And there is a segment which is chasing or focusing more on the valuation. So, do you have anything to say about it? What is this concept of, actually earning it, having the cash flow, money coming in? Or is it more like the projection of it and having the valuation?
It's all about how enormous your problem is, how big your problem is. If the problem is really global, big, of course you will need money. Let me give an example. Outplay Foundation. 41% of Bombay is slum. Out of 10, 4 people from slum in Bombay. Problem is huge. Slums is absolutely lack of resources, lack of education, lack of awareness, lack of hygiene. Now, if someone has to solve the problem, we need money. We need money, right? That's an NGO part. Now, from a private limited or from a public company, the bigger the problem, bigger the valuation. And if the team is there, organization is there are so many people and organization, these people have deep pocket. So maybe 10 crore for you or 10 crore for someone is very huge amount. Maybe 100 crore for someone is a very small amount. It depends. The value of money varies from person to person. You're getting your point. So the heart of the story is what are you solving which is making this place a better place for everyone? What problem you're solving?
Thank you for sharing that. Now, coming to the aspect where I would like to ask this third part of the question, which is what has been your learning in terms of being a father, husband, friend, son, brother, basically your personal roles? What has been your biggest learning playing these different roles in your personal life?
I will share one study with you, and which will help me to understand the importance of relationships. There was a study done by Harvard University, and is one of the longest studies available on planet Earth, where they have studied human behavior. So what they did, they took people, those who are in 18, 19 years old, and they tracked their life till the age of 70s and 80s, almost all their life. And the whole objective is to find out are they really happy or not happy. The biggest study. And when I say tracking, I'm not talking about just sending them the questionnaire. It's just like every month meeting them, checking their financial report, checking their stress level, taking their blood out, even recording them when they are speaking with their loved ones about their deepest concerns of their life. So proper tracking. And Robert Weldinger, he was a third study director, because if you are doing study for 75 years, one director can't manage it. So he published the results on TEDx, which has, I think, more than, I think, around 20 million views. And in that he said, when we critically observe the data, now this is not philosophy or spirituality or something which is personal or individual's view, it's data. When you are doing 75 years, it's data. So he said, when we are critically observing the data, we really got surprised. We really got surprised. And it's evident. It's not something which is on the border. It's very evident that people, even they are in 70s and 80s, people who have better relationships in their life, relationships, close relationships, like you said, brother, wife, maybe husband or sister, those people who are really influencing their time and space, better relationship in their life, even in 70s and 80s, they are doing good in their life. They're healthy, they're productive, they're playing with their grandkids, very less disease. And those people who have bad relationships in their life, poor relationship, abusive relationship, loneliness, maybe in 50s and 60s, they're suffering with diseases, sadness, depression, or leaving this planet Earth little early. Is the relationship is only something which defines the happiness. You have all the money in your bank and everything is there, and you move from your office, take your car, you go home, you don't have someone to sit along with you to share that food. One day, 2 days, it's okay, but you need people in your life. I learned from my mother. I was walking with my mother. I was maybe 10, 11 years old. I was walking and we were going somewhere to our relative. And my mom said that, you know your dad? My dad was angry. So your dad has not spoken to this lady. She was a part of our family only for almost 3 to 4 years. I said, as a child, and why we are going then? And she said that, Praveen, always learn to build a relationship, not break the relationship. When you're tearing the page from the notebook, make sure that you keep some part here so you can patch the paper again there. If you're just tearing very carelessly, you are not losing this paper, you're losing one more paper from that side. You're getting a point. Relationship has to be like that. You should not have any regret or pain or jealousy. No, life is too short for all this. So your closed people is definitely you have to have a very nice relationship. Otherwise, you will not able to stay happy. It's not I saying it, it's data saying that. Your relationship is the key to your happiness. So I have amazing relationship with everyone in my life, especially with my family members. Even my wife, we are not in husband and wife, but we still go with each other very well. We are good friends. We don't irritate each other. We don't hate each other. We still like to share this time and space together. So it's very important to have a nice relationship. It's very important to have a good relationship with your mother. I remember I was sitting with my mother and I said, when was the last time you traveled in your life as a solo traveler? I understand the importance of solo traveling. She said, never. I know you never. So we went for a 10-day solo travel. I was just her photographer and the guy who was carrying her luggage. Those 10 days were the amazing 10 days of my mother's life. You have to understand the importance of relationship. No relationship, no life.
Wow, this is beautifully explained. And the perspective that you gave is fabulous. So it has been amazing listening from you, the perspective of your personal, your real adventurous journeys, the real experiences of life, Himalayas, and of course, as an entrepreneur as well, what you're trying to build now. So I'm sure people who are listening, they have not just got the insights, but they have listened to the various aspects of his life, and you can also maybe relate to certain aspects of your life as well. And maybe that's what life school is all about. So, coming to this aspect, we are any closing message or statement or something that you would like to share to the people out there?
I think one line which we always say, the we have only one life, we have only one life, we have only one life. I think that's a truth. We have only one life only. Be a student throughout the life. Be a part of school of life.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And this was Praveen Vadalkar. This is Somdata Sarkar, and we are signing off from the liveschool.club. See you soon. Thank you so much for staying with us.
Thank you.